Try to imagine being absolutely broke one day and the next day having more than $1 million in your account. That's what I learned about a family. My wife and I were having lunch today, and she told me this story about a family whose life was started in Peru. They were very poor. They wanted to come to America and begin living the American dream. But one catastrophe happened after another catastrophe, and despite saving a lot of money while they were in Peru, when they got to America, everything kind of fell apart. And over time, though, they kept working and kept pushing and kept driving. And as a result of their drive, they ended up with a little bakery, and they were, doing fine until one of the children got sick. And when the children got sick, it basically depleted their savings, depleted their income, and really put them on a pathway of more struggle. Then, because they couldn't take care of their child with medical expenses, the wife, who turned out to be a gifted cook and understood the importance of organic vegetables and organic diet, suggested to the doctor that she start cooking, and maybe through that recipe she would be able to heal her child. And she did. In a couple of months after eating these recipes that the wife cooked, the child miraculously recovered. And the doctor was so impressed that he suggested that she start doing this for other people. Somehow word spread, and this social influencer who started an influencing story called The People of New York decided to profile this family. And when he profiled the family, he also launched a GoFundMe campaign. And that GoFundMe campaign in one day generated more than $1 million. And that entire sum went to this family. And that just happened yesterday. Today is March the 19th, 2021. So 2 days ago, this family was basically really struggling financially. The individual created a series of stories about their inspiring life and their commitment to success and their willingness to do whatever it takes to stay true to their dream. And as a result, something miraculous happened for them, just as things like that happened miraculously for me while going through 26 years in prison. It was a difficult journey, but because leaders taught me how to adjust and how to not really succumb to the negativity or the bad influence of the prison system, I stayed focused on that three-pronged goal that I write about a lot. Focus on education, focus on contributing to society, and focus on building a strong support network. And through that pathway, many opportunities opened for me, starting with an opportunity to get into college and start working toward my first university degree, and then moving forward toward my second university degree, and then working toward another university degree before administrators blocked me from working toward my PhD. All of that happened because I listened to inspiring stories like the one that I just told you and realized the onus is on me to work toward changing my life. Just as if you are going into this challenge, you don't want to be thinking about the worst possible situation. What you want to be thinking about is, what is the best possible thing that I can do? And through that strategy, through that approach, new opportunities open. That is a living testament, not only the story of the people that I just described in Peru, but something that I experienced from, as I said, after getting into college and after the warden blocked me from getting my PhD, I simply shifted focus. That's something that you've got to be thinking about. If you are in that system, you've got to expect there will be things taken away from you. There will be people that try to obstruct your progress. There will be rules that block you from being able to achieve all the dreams that you want to achieve. There will be many, many difficulties along the way, including things around you, but also things beyond your control, like what's going on in the world, what's happening in society. I had to go through all of those things, but like that couple in Peru, I never lost focus. Regardless of what difficulty came, I would just keep focused about doing exactly what I'm doing right now, which is, standing here in beautiful Orange County, California, with the ocean behind me, just giving this message that I hope inspires somebody who's going into the system to think not about where you are right now, but to think about what you can become. And it was because of that pathway, new opportunities continued to open for me. Whether it was beginning to become an author, writing chapters for academics, and then developing relationships with editors and then publishers in publishing houses and persuading them to issue me publishing contracts so that I could write books and continue expanding the support system that I had. In fact, it was that pathway of writing and publishing that opened opportunities for me to meet Carol inside of a prison visiting room when I still had, I think, 12 years of imprisonment ahead of me, and then nurture a relationship with her, and then a romance with her, and then get married to her and build this life. This has been really a fairy tale life, truthfully, of going through prison, climbing my way, crossing one struggle after another. I can't tell you how many times the authorities locked me in segregation. I can't tell you how many times authorities put me in chains and transferred me from one prison in one state to another prison in another state, and just caused my wife indescribable heartache and struggle, but we kept at it, just like I'm encouraging you to keep at it. And that pathway really started to open new relationships for me. And you can read about them, of course, in the books that I've written called, whether it's Earning Freedom or Triumph or The Straight A Guide or Prison, My 8,344th Day. It doesn't matter which one of those books, you will read a consistent message. And it's a message of never losing hope. It's a message of saying, regardless of where I am today, I can start climbing towards something better. And the sooner that you can start visualizing that outcome of your best life, the more powerful you are going to be in architecting the plan. So if you're currently learning that you've become a criminal, that you're facing a criminal charge, the key is not to give up. The key is to begin thinking about what seeds can I sow to mitigate these charges against me. You have to know that prosecutors are going to use all of their persuasive power to make you look bad. So you have to be able to persuade stakeholders that you're something different. Start with that process. And you can do that by documenting your journey. You can do that by telling your story. And hopefully that will lead to a more favorable outcome. It may not be exactly what you want, but if you're able to influence that sentence just a little bit, that can be the first victory. Perhaps you get a sentence like mine, a 45-year prison sentence. But if you still maintain hope, if you still believe in yourself like I believe in you, then you can lay out a plan regardless of what it is. For me, it was to earn academic credentials. It was to develop a strong support system. It was to build a record of contributing to society in meaningful, measurable ways. Because that path never ceased for me, because I stayed on that path all the way through, new opportunities opened. And those opportunities included concluding my sentence with hundreds, if not thousands of people in my support network. And I don't mean tangential support. I mean people that took an active interest in wanting to help me recalibrate and come back to society strong. In fact, I'm wearing this shirt from Stanford University because it was one of my first days or weeks out of prison that I got to meet Professor Joan Petersilia from the Stanford Law School for the first time. And my wife and I joined her for a breakfast. We spoke about the career that I wanted to build. She invited me to start coming to Stanford and speaking to university students, and that developed through that. I developed a quasi-relationship with her, and then new opportunities opened, including this pathway of building programs like the one you're watching right now if you're sitting inside of a jail or a prison, where I made this commitment that I'm going to film videos that will teach and inspire guys inside, showing them the life that I couldn't see. When I was in prison, I hadn't seen the ocean for 25 years before I got out. And so I lived down here in beautiful Laguna Niguel in Southern California, Orange County, and I never get tired of looking at the ocean because so many years went without me being able to see it. So sometimes I like to get out of my home office and make a video out here on location. And I'm only filming this with my iPhone. Fortunately, I do have my trusted partner, my wife, is holding the camera. And I'm just able to, spontaneously share this story that inspired me. And what I'd like to do is start learning a little bit more about how to tell your stories in the world. Hopefully I'll get an opportunity to interview people like this and capture it on film and tell your story about how you're transitioning into society, and co-opt that with a GoFundMe campaign, because a GoFundMe campaign would really help you immensely. I know how difficult it is recalibrating out here. I know how much everything costs. Buy a computer, buy a car, get yourself settled in a housing situation, launch your business, or just get off the ground. And a GoFundMe campaign would be great. If you're watching this video and you would like to help me help formerly incarcerated people transition into society successfully, you know how to reach me. I am Michael Santos with Prison Professors. Visit us at prisonprofessors.com. I'm trying to relate with universities across the country to get more interns involved, because I'm deeply committed to improving community safety by improving outcomes of the criminal justice system. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the button and subscribe. If you've got a loved one going into the prison system, see what we can do about getting this program into there. I am Michael Santos, and I want to thank you for participating in our program. I believe in you, and I hope you never stop believing in yourself. Thank you.